Nick, thanks for being with us today. The first time on our show, Small Stocks, Big Money. You're the CEO, founder of Alta Global Group, which is an amazing company, and you're trying to basically roll up the 640 million MMA fans. For our audience that's not familiar with Alta Global, give us a high-level overview of your company and your mission.
Hey, Dave. Well, our mission as a very thesis-led company is that we believe the most valuable company in the MMA sports vertical, which is the fastest growing sports vertical in the world these days, is to convert 640 million fans to participants. So at Alta, we want to connect fans of mixed martial arts to the ability to train in gym or at home, learn a great sport and get in shape.
So these are online and in-gym training programs. Explain the business model.
Certainly, Dave. So, yeah, the business model is that we obviously know there's huge demand and viewership growth and huge demand for learning the sport, getting more heavily involved. We also know there's hundreds of thousands of gyms, martial arts gyms globally. So what we want to do is connect the customer with the opportunity to either train at martial arts academies in their local community, or of course, the opportunity to train online with some of the biggest stars and coaches in the sport who we've partnered with.
And how does the company make money doing that?
Yeah, so yes, Dave. So how we make money, we are a subscription revenue business. So customers sign up, they go to our website, trainalta.com, they sign up to train in gym or do an Alta program. We tokenize their credit card, we collect a monthly subscription. They have then the opportunity to train in gym, with wonderful coaches in their local community. Or of course, they have the opportunity to train online at home through the range of significant stars and big names that we have attached to our business who've produced online training content at home.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Conor McGregor is an investor in your company. The other founder besides yourself is his head trainer, his head coach. How did you get involved in this platform, and how did you meet Conor McGregor?
Yeah, so John Kavanagh and I started working together in very early 2017 when he started to run the Alta training program from his gym in Dublin, Ireland. Over the time, John experienced significant success in the growth of the program. John was able to connect us to a lot of famous gym owners globally. And from there, I suppose that really aligns with the mission of his star pupil, which is to positively impact people's lives through training martial arts. So it was a very natural progression, Dave, for us to, as the company grew, put the opportunity in front of Conor and his team. And we were obviously, really delighted that really one of the biggest superstars in world sport came online, invested in the business, and is really there to help us promote us and grow.
That's excellent. Now, beyond Conor McGregor, you've also partnered with many other combat sport and MMA legends. Tell us about some of these other collaborations.
Yeah, look, a couple of big names that spring immediately to mind. Daniel Cormier. Daniel is a former two-division, 9-time UFC world champion, one of the greatest to ever do it in the sport. Also wrestled at the Olympics for the United States. Daniel's retired now, retired fairly recently, best known for sitting alongside Joe Rogan in the broadcast booth most weekends, calling UFC fights. We run our Alta training programs from Daniel's Academy in the Bay Area. And then the other big name who's part of our business as well, Laura Sanko. Laura really did smash the glass ceiling for female participation in the sport from a broadcasting standpoint. Laura's a mum. She's in her early 40s. She's a former pro fighter, remarkable broadcaster. And we've been working with Laura for a few years now to really grow female participation in combat sport. And that is certainly a customer segment we're very excited about its growth.
Nick, this is a very large market opportunity. I think it's in excess of $12 billion. You're already in or partnered with 600 gyms. How many gyms are out there globally that you could partner with? How do you grow your business in this very, very large market?
Yeah, so it is a very large market, Dave, as we said at the top. 640 million fans of the sport and growing. currently 45,000 martial arts academies in the United States, predicted to grow to 67,000 by the end of 2025. If we use the US as a proxy, we know that globally there is hundreds of thousands of martial arts academies worldwide. So there is a wonderful opportunity to ultimately partner, with all these academies to ensure the opportunity to deliver them new customers as we really focus on our mission of converting 640 million fans of the sport to people who want to go into their local gym, learn the fighting arts, train, get fit, and liaise with a great community of people.
Let's talk in more detail about the business model. You don't own gyms, but you partner with gyms. So give us some more details on how that works.
Yeah, well, Dave, I think a great proxy is what we've seen happen in the restaurant sector. We know how vast the restaurant sector is, and we know that restaurants are overwhelmingly owner-operated by nature. That is exactly the case with martial arts and combat sports gyms. So from our perspective, we've got a technology platform that effectively enables us to work with this massive fan base growth and connect them with opportunities to train inside gyms in their local areas. So if you think about what companies in the restaurant tech space like Open Table, Seven Doors, Yelp did, that's effectively exactly what we're doing. You're right, we don't own the gyms. We're not rolling out a CapEx heavy model. This is about the technology layer that goes over the top to ensure that the onboarding of the customer and the monetization of the sector is as easy and seamless as possible.
So what is a typical subscription cost, and who are these trainers that you're partnering with? And tell us more about the training programs that you're offering.
Sure. So a typical subscription ranges all the way from $9 a month at the absolute lowest end for online content access, all the way through to $400 or $500 a month if people are training 5 days a week in very immersive in-gym Alta training programs. So there's quite a wide range of subscriptions. I would say that our revenue is overwhelmingly driven by the most expensive subscriptions, which is our Alta programming. The coaches and the people who deliver our syllabuses, they're the owners of these academies and gyms. So they're taking our IP, our brand, they're looking at the syllabus of our training program, and they're delivering it to our customers globally. And this is how we ensure a really homogenous training experience and customer experience for Alta programs.
What are your margins?
So we presently, operate at blended margins of between 38 and 40% based on our current subscription base. As that grows over time, we see opportunities for that margin to lift as more and more of our revenue is contributed via the online training. However, I should say we're very, very focused on getting as many people as possible to train in gym as well, because that's ultimately where the best experience is had. But it is important that we've got online training modules for customer convenience and for people who don't have a great combat sports gym located in their suburb.
What's the big picture? You're in revenue now, you have subscribers, but how big can you grow this over the next few years?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. I think the market growth of this sector has been dizzying, and I think that's enormous credit to the success of the UFC, particularly over the last sort of decade, 15 years. We see an opportunity for us to really aggregate participation in martial arts and combat sports globally to really bring together, ultimately what could constitute hundreds of thousands of gyms to be published on our platform and receiving customers for us. So we're talking about a business that, again, in penetration of the fan base, tens of millions of paid monthly subscribers. So again, when I look at the speed at which the segment is growing, we see opportunities for many hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of revenue in the coming years. That's the ultimate goal, Dave.
One thing we didn't talk about, which I love about your business model, is your cost of acquisition of a subscriber. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's really important to note, I think, in this day and age, consumers are particularly savvy, and what consumers react to and want is high quality content. So if you're partnered with some of the best identities and coaches in the world and you're producing content that the audience wants, that is the fastest way to a customer conversion. And that's certainly what makes us really excited. I mean, we've lowered our customer acquisition costs significantly in the last 12 months. And that's overwhelmingly been as we've brought online additional technology that allows the very effective amplification of great content. Customers don't want ads. They want great content. That's what they respond to, and that's what converts them into paid subscriptions.
What is your cost of acquisition of a subscriber?
Yeah, currently about $20 to $25 US. And as I say, if we look at the subscriptions we're selling, we're selling subscriptions that run between $9 a month through $30 a month, all the way up to $400 and $500 a month. So certainly that level of customer acquisition cost is extremely attractive.
Is there a potential takeout opportunity down the road? And if so, who might acquire you?
Yeah, look, the way I think about that is, number one, Dave, we're enormously excited about the opportunity in front of us. We know we can build a very, very significant company with a very large market cap, and we're very focused on that. I think a good way to think about it is that clearly we're going after a part of this sports vertical that is currently not focused on by the large professional leagues. So the fact that our revenue streams are highly complementary, I think surely means that, down the track, some of those large leagues, may be very interested in what we're doing and of course, may approach us. I think from our perspective, though, we're really focused on building this into as valuable a company as we can and ensuring we position ourselves as a really attractive target in the years to come.
Excellent. One thing I really like also is that your inside ownership is quite high, even with the IPO. What is that inside ownership today?
Yeah, so between the board, the key execs, and all the really early original shareholders, you're looking at those people, owning around about 61% of the company. I think it's really important to note that they're people who really believe in the investment thesis and the long-term opportunity. I think the IPO was wonderful to access more balance sheet strength and to speed up our growth. But from that perspective, I certainly know that within our tight network, the stock will be pretty tightly held, and we want to build it into something enormously valuable, Dave.
Well, today there's only about 1.3 million shares in the float, so potentially, even in the short term, a lot of upside as investors become aware of the story. In just 30 seconds, sum it up for us. Why should investors take an interest in your company today?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Well, I think first and foremost, you are looking at a company that is growing inside the most attractive and fastest growing sports vertical in the world. So if people look at that and want to get exposure to that growth, Alta Global Group is really the only listed pure play MMA company. And obviously we trade under the stock symbol MMA. And obviously the opportunity, the fact that we have first mover advantage, we're looking to aggregate training, we're looking to convert 640 million fans of the sport into participants both in gym and online. The level of upside growth in our business in the coming years is enormous. And I think it's fair to say that we've seen enormous growth in viewership in the last 10 years, characterized by the UFC success. I think the next 10 years, you see enormous growth in the fitness and participation adjacencies as part of that. So in that regard, we feel we're ideally placed, Dave.
Indeed you are. It's a great story. I look forward to continuing our relationship. Nick, thanks for being with us today.
Great to be here today, Dave.